Good day, everybody. What's up, lovelies? How's everybody doing on this wonderful evening? I hope that you are enjoying yourselves. We have a special guest on here today, and we actually may have multiple guests. We will see as the evening goes along. But I want to talk to you today about if you want it, you have to go get it. Okay. And that deals with relating to dating, your purpose, everything that's out there. So before we get hot into this, go ahead and share this with your single girlfriend. Go ahead and share this with your single guy friend. We want everybody to know that if you want something, you really are responsible to go get it, make it happen. And you and God, the best team that's ever been made. Go ahead and share this out. Let people know that there's a number one dating accelerator that's out there to help you get better dating experiences. So, with me tonight, I have Misha, one of the dopest chicks out there, y'all. So we are going to talk to her a little bit about her experience with Dreams Divine Dating, more affectionately known as Dating in 3D, and her experiences and everything. So I do want to thank you all for joining in. And if you're catching this on a replay, just put hashtag replay in the comments so I know you caught the replay. If you're watching from anywhere outside the US, tell me where you're watching from because I'm really interested in that. Dreams Global is just that. It goes across the globe. Love is not centered right in our cities. It really does spread abroad. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But tonight, if you want it, you got to go get it. So Misha, I was talking to my son this morning, and he said he wanted a muffin, a blueberry muffin,
Yes.
and we got some. So I was like, okay, great. It's right there on the counter. We actually are like both munchers. If y'all know me, I love to eat, so my son loves to eat, and so we had already had breakfast, but he wanted to complete his breakfast with something sweet, which was the blueberry muffin.
Mm-hmm.
But we were already gone from the kitchen. So he said, Mom, I want a blueberry muffin. I said, okay, you can go ahead and get it. He was like, can you go get it for me? And I look at him now, he's 4 years old. He stands about tall as a 6 year old. So he definitely can reach the counter. And I said, if you want it, you go get it. And a light bulb went off inside of me. I mean, I'm laughing on the inside of him. He's like, oh, okay. But on the inside, I'm thinking, isn't that life though? Isn't that life? If we want something, we expect other people to get it for us.
Right.
Even when it comes to relating, like I want just the other person to get their life together. I just want them to show up and be great. I
Yeah.
want them to woo me and everything, but we don't take the time to do what it takes for ourselves to be
Mm-hmm.
ready to get up and go and get it. And everything that I preface is going to be with the lens of faith coming through being children of God. So leaving God out of the equation is not even an option.
Fun.
But even he said, faith without works is dead. So when I say go get it, I'm not saying in your own strength, but I am saying put forth those works that combine with the faith that you believe he has something for you, right?
Right.
He's not necessarily required to drop this wonderful man or woman into your life. He doesn't have to
Mm-hmm.
like send it through the mail. So if you want it, this is where this is coming from. You have to go get it. And reason why I wanted to talk to you tonight is because you actually previously did just that. You said, you know what, I want to work on my purpose. I want to do these things. And so you
Yes.
joined the Dreams Divine Dating cohort simply on the idea of fulfilling your purpose. Tell me why you felt a need to do that at that time.
Uh, at that time, I'm always, first of all, always working on myself and developing myself. I think that's a lifelong work, but at that time, I was really working and developing in that area. And
Yes.
also, if I could be honest, in my past, I didn't feel like the relationships that I had were successful. And
Mm-hmm.
so, not that there weren't good moments, but that they weren't successful, or maybe they didn't turn out the way that I thought that they would. And
Mm-hmm.
so, you think about it, we go to the dentist for our teeth, we go to the doctor, you know what I mean? And so when it comes to dating, I thought, well, why not? someone who knows,
Right.
who's an expert in this, who can help me. And also, I was not taught to date. I didn't
Mm.
even know what it was.
Mhm.
If I liked you, we had chemistry, we were compatible. Oh, let's see where this goes.
Mhm.
So that was really the other part of it. I need to learn how to date so that I don't make the same, because if your thought process doesn't change, you're going to do the same thing. Your actions will be the same. So I needed to renew my mind about what dating was, the proper
Yeah.
way to do it, and then move forward from there.
Yes. I want to sit where you said I was not taught how to date. Y'all see, I got my glasses on. I'm in my full teacher mode today. The pearls, y'all know I don't know you wear pearls. You know, I just felt it today, right? So, so in full teacher mode, we're not normally taught to date. We go through 12 plus years of school to
Yes.
learn fundamentals of academia, right? Reading, writing, and makes me think of the arithmetic, right? We think about that, even if we don't use that in our careers, because there are some people who are digging ditches who don't need to know arithmetic. Anyway, we'll keep going, and then we have to have a driver's license, right? How y'all
Yes.
doing out there? I see you all. Thank you for joining us. And we have to have a driver's license to get on the road. And so you're going to spend some type of weeks to get a certification that says I have been taught how
Mhm.
to drive getting behind the wheel, because not having the certification is dangerous. We are taught, right, how to actually do everything else in life, but how to make sure our hearts are safe.
Mhm.
And it is the number one thing that actually brings depression. Okay.
Yes.
Is people commit suicide. People legit hurt other people on purpose
Mhm.
based off of the fact that other people have treated them wrongly. The cliche hurt people is not truly cliche. That is fact,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And so when we think about doing it where we can guard our hearts, have joy increased and frustration decreased, um, some people see it as foreign though, because you are just supposed
Mhm.
to feel chemistry. Just think they're cute, feel the chemistry, and go from there. But how does that work for most of us? Not well. Okay. And so I'll touch on the statistic, though I don't like it. They say half of the people end up in divorce, right? And
Mhm.
I have a different thought process about that. You only have one or the other way. You're either going to succeed or you're not. So
Yes.
saying half of the people end up in divorce, that makes sense. It's not like a startling statistic to me, because you're either going to
Right.
win or you're going to lose, right? And
Mhm.
here you win or learn. But I'm telling you, so 50%, it makes sense. So that means we have 50% of the population who have either been hurt, done
Mhm.
wrong, abused, misused, and we need help, right? And there's no shame in that. There
Yes.
is absolutely honor, because now you want it and you're gonna go for it. So thank you for saying that. If you have been taught to date, that's okay. Most people aren't. We don't normally have classes on it. You know, the only class that we might have had was being able to write the letters when we was in elementary and middle school. Do you
Mhm.
like me? What happens after that? What are we supposed to say?
Yes.
Check here, right?
So
Maybe.
yes or no.
Maybe if you know you were the like head of the class, you gave them that maybe thing, right?
Mhm.
But that's about it. So yeah, so that's one of the things. If you want help, you gotta get it. Here's
Yes.
another thing. You were very clear when you started. Though I'm here and I haven't been taught today, I am way more concentrated on my purpose than the
Mhm.
dating portion. And if you don't know, in dating 3D, we're going to start with your purpose, because there's no way that you can actually date on purpose if you don't know your own purpose.
Correct.
You will, yeah, you'll become someone else to keep a relationship together
Mhm.
when you don't know your purpose. So we're going to 86 the idea that we're just finding a cute man who's going to treat us right. We're gonna know who we are first, completely through and through, and keep growing in that. So tell me why, or maybe what did you get out of fulfilling your purpose or going hard in that?
Um, I got a lot out of it, and I know I won't be able to say everything in this, but what I will say is my initial thought coming in was about um, learning how to date properly,
Mm-hmm.
finding someone that I could, partner with and do life with.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, with Dreams Global, that is what you teach. But my first thought was like, um, I guess in relationships in the past, I had spent so much time building them. I spent so much
Yes.
time pouring into them, pouring into their purpose, because in my mind, once I got them where they needed to be, of course, they were going to just in turn take care of me. And one of the things that I love that I've learned through Dreams Global is that a lot of women think that their purpose is to be married, you know.
Mm.
And you taught me, you were very clear. You were like, listen, being married is a byproduct of it, but your purpose, God sent you here with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, each and every one of us were sent here with a purpose. And along that journey, while we're living out our purpose, we may get married, we may open a business, we may do these different things. But it's very important for you to focus on your purpose, why God placed you here. Because while you're walking in that, you're also going to attract like spirits, like minds. You're going to attract, you understand, other people who God has placed already there at that appointed time while you're walking in your purpose. If you're walking
Right.
down the road, you know, in another direction, the people that you're actually supposed to meet that are going to unlock and pour things into you, they're not there
Right.
because you're not walking, living out and walking out your purpose. So,
Right.
um,
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. No, what I liked about what you gather is that when I forgot my purpose, forgot what God was putting in my heart, dreams, a part of the Dreams Global was legit that God had placed dreams on the inside of me
mhm,
that I neglected because I was focused on a relationship, right?
yeah,
And I mean, and if you're out there, don't feel condemned. Many people have done it. I'm here to encourage you, teach you, guide you. You do not have to put your dreams down to
mhm,
pursue a relationship.
yes,
It literally can happen simultaneously when it's an alignment that God is cool with. And
mhm,
so as I'm putting down and repressing my dreams and I'm concentrating on a relationship, the relationship's not going anywhere. It's actually getting worse.
yeah,
And and it's no like big revelation. It was because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do in the first place.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So I want people to understand right now, if you're putting yourself on the back burner to keep a relationship together, and
mhm,
I'll clarify what I mean in just a moment. I want you to consider that maybe the data that you're getting is that y'all aren't aligned. Now, listen, if you're already married, I'm talking about people who are dating, who have every right to leave. Okay, because I know both sides, and I'm not speaking to you. If you're already married, you're like, yeah, that's right. It's my key to get out. Absolutely, this is not from Sharonda. I am not talking to married people. There are definitely ministries out there. I want to lift up
mhm,
Trudy Parsons and her husband. They actually have a marriage ministry that they have started and been rocking with. Check them out. I'm getting you to the place where you can be encouraged again that there's greatness
mhm,
around you, great men and women that still remain. My goal is to make sure that you don't give up on love, that you keep the
yeah,
faith, okay, and that I can teach you how to see your own gaps. That's what I'm talking about, so that when it's time to get married, you move on over to the marriage side, okay? So I say that because if I would have heard this while I was, oh, that's right, okay, okay. But no, this is for the daters, all right. But if you are putting all your time and effort into keeping a relationship, but you're not doing anything that you feel like
mhm,
your heart is burning for, that is real data saying probably this isn't my person. And you're gonna have to get courage to step away.
yeah,
Okay. And that's what we do, Misha, in the midst of everything. And we won't get too personal
yes,
with anybody. But do I stay honest with the ladies that are in my cohorts?
absolutely.
Okay.
And you will ask, can I be honest? You know,
Mhm.
and so she gives you the option to say, you know, because you want to be ready to handle the truth, you know, because sometimes the truth does hurt, but she does give it, but she will ask you first. And I'll be honest, several of the truths that she has given me have been painful, but there's purpose in pain, you
Mhm.
know, and so if you allow it, it will produce the fruit that it's supposed to. So I'll
Yes.
just say that for those of you who are coming in and thinking about it, when she
Yeah.
asks, can I tell you the truth? Can I be honest? Say yes. Because
Yeah.
my life has changed so much. Like, it's unreal. And it's the thing about it is you would think that it would, it's just changing towards the dating part. Like, that part is absolutely changing, but nothing exists outside of you. So
Mhm.
you are becoming the woman, the purposed, the driven woman that can attract who it is that you said that you want. Because a lot of us are saying, I want this and I want that, but we honestly don't even believe that we're worthy enough to have it.
That's right,
We don't
Nisha.
believe that we're beautiful enough. And I can go deep, because Sharonda
Mhm.
will take you deep. Um, for example, I was having a conversation with a gentleman, and there was something that he said that triggered me. I
Mhm.
did not say anything to him. But when I
Mhm.
spoke to Sharonda, I was like, listen, this person asked me this question. It was a trigger for me, and I'm just tired of this question. And, she just said, honestly, Misha, it's really not about the gentleman and the other people and the question that they ask you. The truth of the matter is, you're rejecting yourself. You think that if you respond to this question and the person doesn't like the answer, they won't talk to you or they won't date you or they won't like you. But the truth of the matter is, you are rejecting yourself before
Mhm.
anybody else even gets a chance to. Because when you are authentic to yourself and you say, you know what, hey, this is what it is what it is, and you fall in love with you and you rock with that, you will attract somebody who absolutely does not care. And that's exactly what happened. And so
Yes.
it's work, but I promise you it is rewarding. So she's not surface. She's gonna, when I say it's not surface, she's gonna go deep, but each thing that she has brought to me has changed my whole, like, just renewed my mind, but it's changed my life because now I have that confidence in that area. And it's something that I struggled with for years. And I no longer have to struggle with that. From now on, because I'm learning to love myself and just be authentic, and it is what it is.
Mhm.
So as you go through the training, as you go through, the community, listening to the other women, learning from the other women, you are going to grow, you're going to heal, and you're going to become the woman that can attract the man that you say that you want. And I
Yes.
pray we have another purpose and position to be pursued this year, like we did at the beginning of the year, because she's going to teach you, she's going to find out what your purpose is. And while you're walking in your purpose, you're going to be positioned. God will handle the pursuit. But those first two are primary before that, because what if, the man shows up, right? And you're not ready. And because you're so focused on pouring into him, which I've done this,
Mhm.
it's time when he's gone and he's walking and working on his purpose. You don't have anything to do. You're
Right.
bored. You're calling him like, when are you coming home? Where are you
Right.
at? I mean, when are you going to get here? Because you're not focused on anything.
Mm.
And
Girl, you
I have
preaching.
been done that.
Yes. Yes. So
So
many of us have, right? Yeah, you have.
I
I
have.
am going to actually add in another wonderful queen in here. Ms. Nally is another cohort member, one who has not only joined us once, but has joined us twice as a cohort member. And we'll talk to her in just a little bit about now, why would you go through the same course more than once? And she's going to give us that feedback. What's going on, Natalie? We can't hear you, baby.
Oh, here, sorry, just
There
getting
we
home. It was raining and thundering and lightning. I was like, oh, yeah, let
go.
me put this phone down and I'll get right back to you. So
Yeah, okay.
I'm home now.
Be safe. We don't want
Yes,
the thunder and the lightning bolts to come through the house.
Yes.
no, no.
Yes. Okay. So good, 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 good. It's true. I will ask to be honest. And for those of you who are just joining or who will join later, the question is, why in the world is Sharonda qualified to tell me about my dating life? I don't see her booed up on Facebook and Instagram. I don't see her with nobody. So what gives her the position to talk to me
Mhm.
about anything? Just quickly and shortly, I'll say this. I really didn't completely date until late in my life, y'all.
Mhm.
Now I have boyfriends along the way, but that was even few and far between. I literally did not start dating until I was 28 years old. And why is that? Because I believe that there was one person out there for you. You know how they say the one, right?
Yes.
So once I thought I knew the one and that one was gone, I legit thought that there was nobody else out there for me. Like, my one is gone. So, and you're laughing, but I meant every part of it. I really was like, my one is gone, so that means I'm done. Around 28 years old, I heard a pastor talk about how Adam had the ability to choose amongst all the creation God had, right? To see what was suitable for him. Meaning he had to take in information on what was in front of him, got to name it, and then he got to say what it was. And when he said, hey, out of none of these creatures, they're not suitable to me, then God fashioned a woman. Guess what? Adam could have said no to her. He just happened not to. He was like, whoa, man, that's that one right there, right? So that taught me, okay, it's not just one out of the 7.5 billion people in the world, but there will be one that you will choose with God's blessing, because he is fashioned as you're working on your purpose. That means resting from this whole like burden. Like, my only purpose is to be married. My only purpose is to have kids. My only purpose. It's not the truth, babe. It's not the truth. So if you're out there and you're believing you only have like just the purpose of being somebody's woman, though it could be a huge part of your purpose, it's a reason why. Like when I think about Esther, who I'll talk about later in the week, yeah, she was supposed to get married to the king, but why was that? It wasn't just so she could be queen. It was so that she could save a nation. You see the bigger purpose is purpose. This is what we talk about when we talk about dating. So it's serious to me. So we fast forward. Now I'm dating. I'm like, oh, it's great people out here. Like, I've been holding myself back, thinking it was only one, and it's like a million. All right, word, let's go. I get married, and we had a great dating relationship, but the marriage didn't work the way my mind had a whole different vision. Like, we had a movie plan, and it stops. Like, it was not the same, right? The same for him either. This is not a blame or anything. This is fact. So then I asked God, okay, what's up? What's up? Okay, because this is not cute. It ain't cool. I mean, I waited a long time to get married. I didn't even date till I was 28. What's up? And that's what I'm saying. That's when he began to tell me, baby, focus on what I put inside you. Stop being so thirsty about the wrong thing. And so you're talking about not being thirsty, Sharonda, but you're talking about dating. Dating literally happens naturally when you're doing what you're supposed to do. Men just come. They just show up. Even if you go online, they do. So anyway, and that's what you two men, I can hear you out there. Okay. Y'all been reaching out, and I appreciate that. It's the same thing for you. Okay. So that's why I am qualified. The things I've learned along the way, how I have been approached, what has happened, the way that I care more about the end game than just feeling some type of way. Feelings come and go, if y'all didn't know. Y'all have feelings come and go for y'all?
Yes.
Yes.
So we don't want to stay where we're just going off of our feelings.
Correct.
No, ma'am. No, sir. Okay, we're going to get some data. We're going to collect some things. I tell them to be scientists. So with that being said, I got to know, Natalie, why in the world would you go through dating 3D not one but two times? Tell me what was going through your brain.
I feel like the first go round, like I just had a certain mindset. Like I came in with kind of like you said, I had this movie, how things were supposed to be. I can definitely agree with you when you're like, there's one person, there's just something like I'm looking for, you know, and we'll say to no avail, like everything else just kind of faded into the background. And just there were a lot of things kind of, whether it was religious dating stuff, you know, because I grew up in the church or whatever, you know, like church girl for life, that I just had to kind of work out, you know, toxic things, stuff like that or whatever, things that just weren't true. Yes. So first go round or whatever, a lot of that stuff had to be plucked out of me. Yes. A lot of mindsets, different things like that. And though, so I feel like going through kind of the second go round, it's like, okay, when you talk about data, when you talk about collecting information, different things like that, I'm just like, not true detective over here, but I'm just like, I have learned how to collect data. When I first meet somebody, and it's not all like, it's emotions, but it's not always like, oh my gosh, I have to feel this and this and this. It's like, okay, let me see what this person is really about by collecting data. Not just what are they saying, but their actions and different things like that. And this just helped me to kind of slow down and be like, all right, so he's saying one thing, but what is he doing?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's great.
I appreciate that. What I heard you say was the first time you have your mindsets that's already been established. Mm-hmm. So you hear it and you're happy, you get something for it, but it couldn't sink all the way in because now when you look at it with a new lens, it's like, okay, now I got my own mindset. I got the new information, but this time I'm ready to implement the new information because now I've been introduced to it. It's kind of like rocking a little bit more. It's not fighting the old thoughts. It's something I'm ready to go forward with a cleaner slate, with a different type of thing. We are talking about if you want it, you have to go get it. Faith without works is dead. Love is for all of us. There is absolute honor in wanting God to place you with someone so that you can fulfill your purposes together. Mm-hmm. And so I'm talking with Misha and Natalie, and these are either previous or present cohort members in our Dating in 3D. And we're going to get to the number one Dating Accelerator that's coming up in September, the 15th through the 17th, which you don't want to miss, especially if you have been discouraged in relationships and dating and love, okay? Because there really is another side. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
It really is. It really is. So let's get back into one more question because I told you, ladies, I'm not going to keep you forever. If there was one thing that you haven't mentioned already that was powerful, meaning something that was beneficial to you that you would want to share with another lady about the cohort or just your experience with me as a dating coach, what would you share? What I know you had said something about me being honest, Misha, but is there anything else that you can say about your experience that another lady may be encouraged by?
I'd say that you are so patient. When I call or ask questions or different things like that, or well, he said this, I know how I felt about it. Like when y'all were talking about like triggers, like when those things come up, you help me kind of piecemeal it and kind of take it apart and be like, all right, so this is what they said. But why did this affect me like this?
Yes.
It's like taking your time and thinking through the process, instead of just reacting. So that to me is just like that insight is like, I appreciate that so much. It's having that part.
Yes, that's awesome. Okay, great, awesome. Yeah.
Gosh, there is so much. I love you, Sharonda. I love your heart for women, your heart for wanting, women to be happy and to be whole and fulfilled. And you really, truly, when you're not just, some people are saying, walking your purpose, it sounds great, but that's really like your heart's desire to see women walk in their purpose in that way, because that in seeking the kingdom, everything else is going to come, And so if the focus is just, I'm just going to go get him, and you're not doing any of those other things that you teach, you will get him and you won't be able to keep him. So that's what I appreciate so much about it, because also oftentimes in relationships with men and women, if it doesn't work out and you don't have the pieces that you teach, you're, like you said, you're depressed, you're suicidal, you're not equipped, to handle it. But when you are living and walking out your purpose and you're applying the skills and the information that you give us, you're going to be good either way. Like you said, you're going to win or you're going to learn. And love when you say, in dating, you learn so much about I have learned so much about myself.
Yes, ma'am.
I've learned so much about myself that I actually didn't think about before because I was so focused on, well, I want him to do this and I want him to do that. And even that, I remember saying that in a recent conversation, and you talked about just the power that we give others and how it's important for us to be definitive. It's important for us to know exactly what it is that we want, and say that. And every time you have corrected me on that and I have said it, it has showed up, which is really interesting. She just keeps asking until you say exactly what you want. Okay, that's what it is. That's definite. And once I say it, it shows up. I'm like, oh my God. So I love your heart for women to be whole.
Yes.
That's what I love about you. So if you want to be whole, if you really want to grow in community, if you want to renew your mind and work on becoming the woman that God has created you to be while being pursued by amazing men, Dreams Global is for you.
Yeah. I appreciate that. It's true. I want to talk to Natalie about that. I know you just mentioned it, Misha, but there was a part, you don't have to go deep. Okay. Everybody need to know your business. That's another thing. Y'all won't see me on here dating a lot. Y'all won't see who I'm with or why. I might show you some places, maybe some food, like, something like that. But I really do believe that as you're collecting data, that's all you're doing. Scientists don't tell you that the vaccine's coming out, that the new medicine is out. They're in the lab. They're working it out, right? We don't know about it until it's a finished thing or they're ready to put it on trial. Okay. So, you're not going to see. And it ain't everybody's business anyway, right? But anyway, what I'm trying to say is while you're collecting data, that's what you should do. You should be that scientist and you're saying, let me understand, see, analyze, maybe not analyze to death, but do it with wisdom. Ask the Holy Spirit to help you discern. And then if there's something that comes beyond it, okay, now we can put it on the shelf. Now it can be out for everyone to see. I'm saying all that is because I remember a conversation we had, Natalie, and you weren't aware of how much power you had in driving a conversation. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And you with as much information as you want to share, just kind of go over what was happening.
Just basically, talking to a gentleman. I was interested in him, but the conversation kept being steered in a certain direction that I didn't feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And just kind of through your insight and your wisdom, it was just like, this is how you redirect that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to go a certain way, or just like, I don't feel comfortable talking about that, how to turn that around in a way where it's like, I don't have to be like defensive or whatever, but this is what we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And just having that was just like, okay, cool, because that was a skill like I hadn't really, used before, but it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I do have that power. Like I do have those tools or whatever to redirect that conversation and be like, no.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yes, I'm glad that you brought it up. It is true. It is really true. The one thing that the enemy has is that, and I don't know who said it first, but his ability to make people think he's not there. Right? And it's the same thing on the inverse for us Christians. A weapon against us is not to know how much power we actually have. The power of life and death is in our tongue. So when Misha says, when I began to be definitive and say that, it would show up. Well, that's biblical. That ain't Sharonda. I just knew how to make that a dating principle.
Yes.
When I say you have direction and you can direct the conversation, that is something God has given us. We are his children. He said you can speak to the mountain and move it. You definitely can correct a conversation, right?
Absolutely.
So the gift that I believe God has given me, and I'm going to make that more definitive, the gift that God has given me is how to see things in the word and how it relates to our dating lives. For whatever reason, he gave it to me. And though I didn't want it, because I was embarrassed to talk about it, just like some of you out there right now, y'all are embarrassed to even say you want someone out loud. You're embarrassed to say you don't know how to do it because you feel like you should already do it. You're
Right.
embarrassed to say that, men are not treating you the way that they should, and all you do is blame because it's easier to push blame on someone
Mhm.
else than to
Mhm.
go internal and say, why do I keep manifesting, receiving,
Mhm.
accepting wrong behavior? What is it? And it's not a judgment to take self reflection, is exactly what it is.
Yes.
Self reflection. If I look in the mirror and I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, oh my God, I can see the computer in my glasses. That's no judgment. It is what it
Yeah.
is. So then what I do, I'm going to try to adjust to give you the
Mhm.
full teacher mode. You see my eye, you see my eye. You know what I'm saying? That's what I this is what I do. It is just that. No one is saying you're wrong, you're flawed, something's wrong.
Mhm.
I say, let's look at what's going on.
Mhm.
There is a reason. Like when my relationships were not working, I cannot blame it on the other person
Correct.
solo alone. What was it? And I happened to get the biggest reason. I was not concentrating on the right things. Therefore, I was not in the
Mhm.
right place. Therefore, there was no joy to be had. Okay. Now, other things could have been in place, but I'm telling you, this is what God dropped in me. And so I do not want anybody, man, woman, boy, child, it don't matter, to experience a life lacking joy and
Mhm.
peace. It's
Mhm.
nothing worth that. It is nothing worth taking your peace, Lord Jesus.
Yes,
And y'all know I mean that from the bottom of my
he
heart.
does.
So when you are in dating relationships, it doesn't mean just because you know how to collect data that next person is going to be your husband.
Right.
It doesn't mean that. What it does mean though, you will know it quicker if he is or is not. You will save yourself some heartache if you actually stick to
Absolutely.
the data. If you stick to the data, I'm gonna say if you stick to the
Too.
data, because I know what it's like to be like, I know what the data say, but
Yes.
oh God, like you gotta do it. I know what it's like to be
Oh
like,
gosh.
oh nice. I know all of that. But
Mhm.
when you stick to the data, it actually does save you heartbreak. And some of
It
you,
does.
yeah. Go ahead, speak to that, Misha, if you like.
It absolutely does save you, and it's quicker. I think
Mm,
about like the time, and again, it is perspective. You win or you learn. But the
yes.
old Misha would have said the time that I wasted.
Right.
Time is something that you can't get back. And so
Right.
now being able to go in with a level, clear head, sober,
Yes.
being able to feel the emotions that I feel, but not allow them to take me somewhere that I'm not supposed to go. Because, like you said, emotions, feelings, they change,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know, and guarding my heart the right way. The Bible says that the heart is deceitfully wicked and evil, and who can know it? And it's
Yes.
so interesting when it comes to love. Everybody's like, but it's my heart. I'm listening to my heart. But remember, when she started, she said the foundation of this is the word. And so, if the foundation is the word, we have to approach it the way that the word says. And so
Right.
we have to guard it. There's reasons why he tells us to guard it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I'm thankful that I have found out things earlier. And I'll say this, I met someone when I first got in Dreams Global that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out early on that he was not in alignment with my purpose. Can I say this, Sharona? And I called Sharona and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. And she said, I don't know. She said, just kiss and just keep it sweet and simple. And
Yes.
so in the past, there was always this back and forth about, well, this was your fault and this is why and this is why. And it
Mm-hmm.
was just such a load off. There was no stress to
Right.
just be able to say, you know what, I really enjoy the time that I spent and shared with you. But what I've learned in collecting data is that you're not in alignment with the purpose that God has for me. And so
Right.
now that I know that, we can no longer continue in this vein, but I wish you well. God bless you. I
Yeah.
have never ended a relationship like this. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Like
Right. Right. Right.
so
That's funny.
again, like she said, if you take the data and you
Yeah.
stick to the data, you
Yes.
will save heartbreak and you
Yes.
will learn quicker, which saves you more time. Because
Exactly.
within a week or two, if you're collecting data, you
Yes.
know it
Yes.
doesn't take years and 6 months, and it doesn't. It really doesn't. If you apply what it is that she's giving, you will see immediate results.
Yeah, it's real talk. How many people have felt, and we'll wrap it up after this. How many people felt like, had I known earlier, or had I just went with what was in my gut, meaning the Holy
Mhm.
Spirit telling me
Yes,
earlier,
yes.
I could have been further along in another relationship, or I could have been doing more in my life. I could have been in a different position. And what my goal is, you're right. I'm just gonna let you know that's true. All of us. What I'm gonna say is that when you're in the movie, you cannot always see the full scene. Only
Right.
the people on the outside. And
Hmm.
so what I'm doing is I'm helping you see the gap. I'm the one saying, don't run upstairs. Don't run upstairs. That's me. Even though in the moment you're thinking, hey, there's a monster, I'm gonna run upstairs. And we're like, no, that's not it. Like that's me. That is my goal.
Yes.
Um, there's a gap when something's going on and you're like, hey, why is everybody so horrible? It ain't no good people out there. And I get to say, you're a good person, right? But
Yes.
it's only me. Do you know how selfish and self-centered of a statement that is? And
Yes.
this is once again, remember, it's feedback, it's not judgment.
Mhm.
But if you feel like you're the only person on the earth that's good,
Good.
that means you're hurting. You know what I mean? It means that you have experienced so much bad that there's no one that can actually even wash you. You know how you got to get washed with the water of the word? That's what I'm here to
Absolutely.
do.
Mm.
I'm here to let you know. There was a retreat we had last year, and men came and apologized to women they never did wrong to. They stood in a gap for other men who would never say, I'm sorry. Okay, this is what these things come up, and this is something that gets downloaded into me. This is what I desire for people who want to date well. Okay, you may never hear I'm sorry. Lord knows, I'm almost certain I won't. However,
Yes.
however, and it's okay. It really is okay because we all fall short, right? We have all sinned and fall short, and we all need the Lord's whole grace and mercy, right? So it's okay. But what I would love for you all to do is to consider, if you have not been having the best dating relationships altogether,
Mhm.
I want you to consider going ahead, and I'm gonna drop the link, signing up
Mhm.
and investing in the teaching. Like Misha started this out with the teaching that comes with learning how to date well. It
Yes.
is a certain thing, just like everything else that comes. Okay. Let's not be those dating unlicensed drivers that's going to cause havoc on everyone else. You know what I'm saying? That's dangerous. We even have to have
Yes.
insurance. Let's go ahead and invest in ourselves. The dating
Yes.
accelerator is going to be amazing, and I am saying that because I'm having it. But I'm also not just saying it because I'm having it. It's because we have events and interactive. We are
Mhm.
not sitting in front of a chalkboard. We're not sitting in front of this PowerPoint screen. That is
Mhm.
great for educational purposes.
Yes.
But in dating, it is a social, interactive. You have to get inside yourself and other people type of thing. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna
There
be
we
different.
go.
No, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different, right, Natalie?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm different. So it's
It's
gonna be
gonna be
different.
different. It's gonna be dope.
So it's gonna be good. Go ahead and get your pajamas ready because we're gonna start the whole event in a pajama party. Okay, and I will have a special surprise that night for attendees. All right, we're gonna wake up in the morning. I have two different special activities. I'm gonna say for us to get ready for the costume party that's happening that Saturday night. Yes. Don't you hate when people lie to you and they're like, I'm this person, I'm that person, and like a few months later you find out they was none of what they said.
Absolutely.
But wouldn't you like to meet somebody's alter ego at
Yes,
first? Wouldn't that be dope?
I would.
That's why the costume party's going on. I want to know, do you think you're Superman? Do you think you're Black Panther? Do you think you're
You gonna
Jerome
be
from
ready.
Marvel? Are you going to be rerun? Like, who is your alter ego?
Rerun.
Hey, I would love if I see somebody come in and do the dance, oh my gosh, I'm talking to that person. Are you? I'm talking to you. Okay.
You.
Okay. Are you a cowboy? Like, what is your?
What is it?
And I meet you that way. What kind of data is that, right?
Right.
I will put out there that the costume party, because I have gotten feedback, and like I said, feedback's just feedback, but you do want to adjust from it. There are some people who do not feel comfortable showing their alter egos right away. So costumes are not required, but they're strongly recommended. I would say it like that. So if you want to be in a mix, you do want to meet some great people, but you don't really have the guts just yet to show us that part. Come, we welcome one and all. But it's strongly recommended. Okay. And then because, like I said, this is faith-based, we're going to do some great coaching, especially for those who sign up for the VIP special one-on-one with me. We're going to really decompress and, like Natalie say, break it down.
Yes.
Like we're going to dissect, put back together, see what the data is really saying, what concoctions are really brewing that next day, and then end together and worship that Sunday, okay? At my church, whoop, whoop, TFC. So if you would go ahead, click the link, go ahead, sign up. Right now, I am giving $100 off for general admission. Sorry, you missed the VIP, you want the $100 off. So if you want VIP, you want the extra coaching, you want all the swag, you want the stuff that's coming with it, you still got to pay the full amount. But listen, I will say this. Some of y'all will go out and buy an outfit next weekend that will be similar to this price. You know, you're gonna get your shoes, you might get your hair did, the nails, the whatever, pocketbooks, whatever. Instead of next weekend, because that's what Labor Day. Save that money to invest on what could accelerate you to have a legitimate booth by Christmas, because that's my goal. That's why I'm doing the acceleration. Is literally thinking about the holidays for you. It's not just because it's my birthday, but it is my birthday. It's because it is literally because I know when the holidays come around, how that can affect our emotions. I have been there. You celebrate, open your gifts, you're with your family, and then it's nighttime and you ain't got nobody, and you're on the couch and you're like, and you got these faces. Accept calls from people you shouldn't accept calls from. Everybody, we're not doing that this year. We're going to accelerate it in the right direction. Okay, bringing in physics here. Anyway, I have been talking long enough. The #1 dating accelerator here in Atlanta, Georgia, September 15th through the 17th. These ladies, I tried not to prep them as much on what was going on because I wanted the most authentic answers to come out. What you heard, because you know when somebody trying to sell you, I ain't got time. If you know what your dating life is like, you know if you've been praying for an answer, you know if you just need one. Okay, don't let the ship pass you by. September 15th. Right now, general admission, you're getting $100 off. So if it says $197, it's only $97. That will absolutely show up. And be changed for you. VIP will remain the same because I ran the VIP special early so everybody could get all that stuff early. If you missed it, it's okay. You're still on time. You're still on time. You're still on time. And what you sow, you reap.
Yes.
So with all that being said, ladies, do you all have a closing remark or anything else that you want to say for the good of the country, yourself, a lady, or me?
Oh gosh.
anything will be fine.
I would just say thank you for everything, and I can't wait to see you all there. I will be there. You need to be there. It is going to be so dope.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. Okay, anything for the people? Natalie.
Just thank you so much for your insight. Like, it has been amazing. And it's constantly like mental notes and stuff that I can go back to. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for trusting me, this crazy chick over here. No, I own it. But I do love you all. So I personally invite you to the Dating Accelerator in September. If you are being discouraged, if you happen to have been in any of these situations, holding on longer, you know what I'm saying? Not understanding how a person is speaking to you and knowing you have power to direct it. If you feel like you've wasted time, if you feel hurt still and don't think there's anybody good out there, all of these things are reasons for you to be there.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it will change. All right. So thank you, Misha, Natalie.
You're welcome.
Lovely. I appreciate it. Go ahead and let me know if you're watching this in the replay. Go ahead and sign up. Go to the website. Like I said, you're gonna get $100 off, and this is gonna be something that I believe that I'm gonna run. At least to the end of Labor Day. Why is that? Because general admission gets you in the building. You need to at least be there. You see what the title is? If you want it, you have to go get it. So go get it.
I don't know why I hear that song about that in my head.
Yes.
You can get it if you want it.
Yeah.
Like, go get it or whatever Mary said.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a reel with that. I'm gonna make a reel with it.
Yeah. That was
So good. All right. So I will see you all there. Once again, ladies, I do appreciate your time because you could have been doing anything. And y'all go get those tickets. Talk to y'all later. Good night.